I was reading an article the other day. I won't say exactly where, but it was a pretty major outlet. And I had this distinct creeping sensation that something was just wrong.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Right. Like the grammar was perfect, the spelling was impeccable, the sentences were structured with this rigorous, almost rhythmic logic, but it felt, I don't know, hollow.
You're talking about the uncanny valley of text.
Exactly. It was like biting into a wax apple. It looks perfect on the outside, shiny and red, but there's just zero flavor. It felt like it was written by a committee of very polite, very anxious bureaucrats who were trying desperately to impress me without actually saying anything controversial. No soul, no jagged edges.
And that feeling you're describing, that is your brain subconsciously detecting a large language model, an LLM. You're literally sensing the statistical average of the internet.
Which is exactly what we're digging into today. We're doing a massive deep dive into this. We're going to turn you, the listener, into a forensic linguist.
I love that.
Yeah, we're going to teach you how to spot artificial intelligence writing in the wild. We're looking at Wikipedia, emails, news articles, but more importantly, we're going to explore why the robot writes the way it does. Because when you understand the mechanism behind it, you start to see these patterns everywhere.
It really is a fascinating mirror to hold up to human communication. And to do this, we have a really incredible stack of sources today. We are looking at a massive community-built field guide from Wikipedia editors.
Which is just wild.
It is. It's written by people whose entire hobby is hunting down undisclosed AI content. And we are pairing that with a secondary source, a strategic guide on refining voice that teaches you how to stop sounding like a machine yourself.
This Wikipedia field guide is absolutely insane. It's like a birdwatcher's manual, but instead of spotting a blue jay or a cardinal, you're out there spotting a wild delve or a dangling participle.
It is exactly that. And the mission for this deep dive is simple. We want to look under the hood. We want to understand the why. Why does ChatGPT sound like a hype man for a mid-tier marketing firm? Why does it hate the word is? Why is everything a rich tapestry?
Oh, the tapestry. We are definitely going to talk about the tapestry. But before we get to the specific vocabulary, we need to set the stage with the big concept. Because the source material talks about something called regression to the mean.
Right. This is the fundamental mechanism of how these models work. And if you understand this, everything else makes total sense. We have to remember that LLMs are not thinking in the way we do.
Right. They aren't brains.
Exactly. They are prediction machines. They are looking at a sequence of words and calculating statistically what the most likely next word is based on the billions of pages of text they were trained on.
So in a way, they're playing the world's most expensive, high-stakes game of Family Feud. Survey says.
Basically, yes. But let's dig into that mechanism a bit more because it really explains the blindness you mentioned earlier. Imagine the AI has a big bag of Scrabble tiles to choose from to the next word.
Okay, I've got the bag. I'm reaching in.
If the sentence so far is, the cat sat on the word mat is a huge, heavy tile. It takes up half the bag. It has, say, a 90% probability. The word sofa is a smaller tile. And the word stratosphere is a tiny, microscopic speck of dust.
Right, because cats don't usually sit on the stratosphere.
Yeah.
Unless it's a very specific sci-fi novel.
Exactly. Now here is the key. To be safe, to be correct, and to satisfy the widest possible audience, these models are tuned to almost always grab the big tile. They grab the average word.
So it's not just picking a word, it's picking the path of least resistance.
Precisely. In the technical world, we talk about temperature. If you turn the temperature up, the AI takes risks. It might grab the stratosphere tile. But for general-purpose chatbots, the ones writing your emails or generating wiki articles, the temperature is usually set low. It systematically eliminates the weird, the jagged, and the unique because those are statistically risky.
And the source material had this amazing analogy that really stuck with me. It compared AI writing to a portrait of a famous person that's been photocopied too many times.
Yes. This is a perfect visualization. Imagine you have a sharp, high-resolution photograph of a person. That is human writing. It has specific details, maybe a scar, a stray hair, a weird expression, a crinkle in the shirt. It is messy, but it's real.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
Now imagine you photocopy that photo. Then you take the photocopy and you photocopy that, and you do that 1,000 times.
It gets blurry, the sharp edges disappear, the scar vanishes, the stray hair just blends right into the background.
Exactly. The source says it becomes a blurry, generic sketch. It is still recognizable as a face, but it's the average of a face. The specific, jagged facts, the things that make it unique get smoothed over into round, pleasing, but ultimately empty statements.
That is slightly terrifying, actually. It's like we are sanding down the edges of human creativity until everything is just a smooth gray pebble.
And the thing is, it's not trying to be boring on purpose, it's just trying to be most likely. And most likely usually means least offensive and most generic. Which brings us to the first major tell in our field guide, the vibe check.
The vibe check. This is all about tone and vocabulary. And the first thing that Wikipedia editors noticed, and I think we've all seen this, is something they call the puffery problem.
Puffery. Significance inflation.
The AI is like the ultimate hype man. It cannot just state a simple fact. It has to tell you why that fact is the most important, groundbreaking thing that has ever happened in the history of the universe.
It is the regression to the mean at work again. Think about the training data. What kind of text is all over the internet?
Marketing copy, press releases, obituaries, award ceremonies, LinkedIn posts.
Right. And in those formats, people and events are usually described with positive, important-sounding language. So the AI assumes everything needs to be important. It learns that the noun event is almost always preceded by the adjective pivotal.
Even if the topic is incredibly mundane, the source has this hilarious list of keywords to watch out for. Testament, landscape, realm, underscore, pivotal, vibrant, nestled.
Pivotal is a huge one, a pivotal moment in the landscape of...
But wait, let me play devil's advocate for a second here.
Yeah.
Is puffery actually an error? Or is the AI just doing what we trained it to do? I mean, if I hire a copywriter, I want them to make my boring company sound exciting.
That is a really great distinction. If you are asking for marketing copy, puffery is a feature, not a bug. The problem, and what the Wikipedia editors are fighting, is when that marketing dialect bleeds into informational spaces.
Right. If I'm reading an encyclopedia entry about a local bus station, I don't need to be sold on the vibrancy of the waiting room.
Exactly. It's a context mismatch. The AI has over-indexed on promotional language because the internet is mostly promotional. It treats a historical record with the exact same breathlessness as a new smartphone launch.
It's treating history like a LinkedIn post.
That is the perfect way to put it.
And the big one, the absolute king of this puffery mountain, is tapestry.
Ah, yes. The rich tapestry.
If I never hear the phrase rich tapestry again, it will be too soon. The source mentions a specific example regarding Somali cuisine that really illustrates why this is so annoying.
Right, so imagine a human writing about Somali cuisine. They might say, Somali cuisine has influences from Arab, Indian, and Italian cooking. Simple, factual, it tells you exactly what to expect on the plate.
But the AI?
The AI writes, Somali cuisine is an intricate and diverse fusion of a multitude of culinary influences, drawing from the rich tapestry of Arab, Indian, and Italian flavors.
It just can't help itself. It adds intricate, diverse, multitude, rich tapestry. It is literally just filling space.
It's trying to sound authoritative, but it's actually just adding noise. Rich tapestry is a dead metaphor. It doesn't actually help you visualize the food at all. It's just a placeholder for a lot of stuff mixed together.
There was another example in the source that made me laugh out loud. The Statistical Institute of Catalonia. Now, I'm sure that is a fine institution, but it's a government statistics office.
Right. A human editor would just write, the institute was established in 1989.
But the AI wrote, the Statistical Institute of Catalonia was officially established in 1989, marking a pivotal moment in the evolution of regional statistics in Spain.
A pivotal moment in the evolution of regional statistics.
It sounds like the moon landing. One small step for a statistician, one giant leap for spreadsheets.
That is exactly what we call puffery. It is inflating a bureaucratic event into a historic saga. And once you hear it, you really can't unhear it. You start seeing pivotal moments and testaments to human resilience in emails about a change in the break room coffee policy.
The switch to decaf marks a pivotal shift in the evolving landscape of our morning routine.
Precisely. And alongside this puffery, there's a specific vocabulary that acts like a fingerprint. The source calls it the AI dictionary. And we have to talk about Delve.
The rise and fall of Delve. It has become a bit of a meme, hasn't it?
It really has. The source mentions that the word delve, its usage skyrocketed in 2023 with ChatGPT 3.5 and 4. It was everywhere. Let's delve into this topic, delving deeper into the issue.
But why delve? It is such a weirdly specific word. Humans don't really say delve in casual conversation. We say dig into or look at or explore.
This goes back to the Scrabble bag. In the vast corpus of academic and formal writing that the AI was trained on, delve appears frequently as a transition word. It sounds smart, it sounds slightly formal. So for the AI, delve became the statistically safest bridge between a verb and a complex topic. It's the mat for the cat of corporate speak.
But here's the interesting part. The source says usage dropped off in 2025.
Right. This suggests OpenAI or other developers likely tweaked the model or the post-training filtering to reduce it because it became a tell. It became a joke that delve meant AI. So now delve acts like a carbon date. If you see a document full of delve, it was probably written by ChatGPT-4 in 2023 or 2024.
It's like looking at tree rings.
Ah,
Ah, yes, a fine vintage 2023 paragraph.
exactly. But as delve fades, other words take its place. Crucial, enhancing, fostering, intricate, leveraging, aligning
Well,
with.
I use fostering sometimes. Am I a robot?
This is the tricky part. Humans use these words too. The field guide isn't saying never use these words. It is about density and context. If you see an edit on Wikipedia or an email that introduces 5 of these words in a single paragraph, fostering a vibrant landscape while leveraging crucial insights, that is a massive red flag. It's the cluster that gives it away.
It's the density. It's like adding too much salt to the soup. One pinch is fine. A cup of salt is inedible.
And speaking of inedible, let's talk about the neutrality trap. This is especially relevant for Wikipedia, which is supposed to be neutral by design.
Right? AI really struggles with neutrality.
Because the training data is so full of marketing. So even when you explicitly ask it for an encyclopedia entry, it defaults to brochure speak.
Adjective stacking, that was the term the source used.
Yes. It is never just a region. It's a breathtaking region. It's never just support. It's unwavering support. It's never just a commitment. It's a commitment to excellence.
There was an example of a car description in the sources. The Cadillac Sally.
Oh, this one was egregious.
A human would say, the car has a long door and a low profile. Just a simple visual description.
But the AI wrote, the Solly's exterior design communicates a powerful emotional presence. A sleek, low tail imparts a sense of refined dynamism.
Communicates a powerful emotional presence. It is a car door.
That reads exactly like a press release. And the source notes that while older models like GPT-4 were blatantly positive like this, newer models are getting sneakier. They are becoming subtly positive.
That's almost worse.
It is much harder to catch. It might not say breathtaking, but it will still structure the sentence to sell you on the car, rather than just describe it factually.
So we have got the vibe check down. Puffery, the AI dictionary, and the neutrality trap. But I want to move past the words themselves and get into the nuts and bolts, the structural ticks, because this is where I feel like I really started to see the matrix code.
The syntax of the machine.
The source calls this first one the death of is.
Copula avoidance.
Copula avoidance. It sounds like a medical condition, maybe a weird legal strategy.
It's a grammatical phenomenon that linguists have actually been tracking. The copula is the verb to be, is, are, was, were. These are the absolute workhorses of the English language. The cat is black. The station is in London.
But the AI hates them.
It seems to have a real aversion to simple existence. It thinks it's just too boring.
It has low perplexity.
Exactly. Linguists call this copula avoidance, but I like to think of it as the fear of being boring. The verb to be is invisible. It just equates A with B. But the AI looks at that and thinks, that's too simple. I need to justify my existence here. So it replaces is with action verbs that don't actually add any action whatsoever.
So instead of the station is in London, it writes, the station serves as a hub in London.
Or the building stands as a testament. The event marks a shift. The initiative represents a milestone.
I see this all the time. Serves as, I feel like I read, serves as 50 times a day now on LinkedIn.
The source actually cites a study showing a 10% decrease in is and are usage in academic writing in 2023. That is a massive, unprecedented shift in the English language in just one single year.
So the sky is blue becomes, the sky presents as a vast azure expanse.
Or the sky serves as a canvas for the sun.
Oof. It sounds smart until you realize it conveys absolutely zero extra information.
And here is the real tell. If you can replace the fancy verb with is and the sentence loses nothing, it was AI fluff. If the station serves as a hub means the exact same thing as the station is a hub, the AI just wasted your time. It added syllables, but not meaning.
It adds unnecessary complexity. It's like a high school student trying to hit a word count on an essay. The book is good becomes the novel stands as a testament to literary excellence.
Exactly. And that leads right into the next structural tick, which is closely related, the dangling participle, or what the source calls superficial synthesis.
This one drives me crazy. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. It is when a sentence ends with a comma and then a verb ending in ing.
The pattern is always fact, comma, highlighting or underscoring or reflecting, followed by vague significance.
Give us an example from the source. Let's break one down.
Okay, let's look at the source text. The population of Duera stood at approximately 56,000 inhabitants. That's the fact.
Okay, simple demographic fact.
Then the AI adds a comma and says creating a lively community within its borders.
Creating a lively community within its borders.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything. Any 56,000 people are a community. Are they lively? Maybe they're boring. Maybe they all go to sleep at 8 p.m.
The AI has no idea. It is just gluing a positive vibe onto the end of a statistic. It's trying to synthesize the information, but it's entirely superficial. Here is another one. The temple has a bilingual monument sign.
Fact.
Comma, underscoring its role in bringing together Latter-day Saints from the United States and Mexico.
It is asserting significance without actually proving it.
That is the key. It's superficial synthesis. A human historian would explain how the sign brings people together, maybe with a story about a specific family or a quote from a visitor. The AI just asserts the connection with a dangling participle. It's filler. It's syntactic packing peanuts.
Syntactic packing peanuts. I love that image. It protects the sentence, but it is basically styrofoam.
And speaking of packing peanuts, let's talk about the rule of three.
The rhythm of persuasion.
The AI absolutely loves to list things in threes. Adjective, adjective, and adjective.
A vibrant, diverse, and inclusive community. Innovative, sustainable, and forward-thinking solutions.
It sounds good, right? It has a nice beat to it.
It does. It feels rhythmic and complete.
It is a classic rhetorical device, but the AI overuses it to the point of sheer absurdity. It forces things into groups of three, even when there were only two, or when there are four. It will invent a third adjective just to keep the rhythm going.
And closely related to that is negative parallelism.
This is a bit more sophisticated. This is when the AI tries to sound profound by telling you what something is not.
Not only X, but also Y.
Or it is not merely X, it is Y.
The source had a very art critic example for this one. It was about the artist Yayoi Kusama.
Right. It wrote, her self-portrait is not a mirror, but a portal. Not a representation, but a mechanism.
Not a mirror, but a portal. It sounds so incredibly deep.
But if you stop and really think about it, what does that actually mean? It is often just restating the exact same thing twice to sound balanced. It's a deepity. It sounds profound, but it is actually hollow. It is performing wisdom rather than providing it.
So we've got the tone and we've got the structure. But now we really have to get into the dangerous territory, the stuff that gets people in actual trouble. Hallucinations.
This is where the forensic linguistics becomes factual fact-checking. Because the AI doesn't just fluff up the truth. Sometimes it just completely makes it up.
The weasel words. This is my favorite term from the guide.
It is a classic Wikipedia editing term. Vague attribution.
The AI loves to say, experts argue, or observers have noted.
But it never tells you who the experts are.
Industry reports suggest. Which reports? Some critics argue. Which critics?
It is faking consensus. It knows that in its training data, sentences very often start with, experts agreed that, so it just generates that pattern. But because it doesn't have a specific source in its immediate memory, or it's blending 5 different conflicting sources, it just leaves it totally vague.
The source mentions that sometimes it cites one single person and claims several sources agree.
Right. Several publications have cited, followed by a footnote to one single article. It's inflating the citation count to make the point seem stronger than it is.
And sometimes the citation itself is just a total ghost.
The Ohm's law example. This one is a classic hallucination that really shows how the probability engine fails spectacularly.
Tell us about that one.
So ChatGPT generated a text about Ohm's law basic physics, and it included a very formal citation. C.L. Fortescue, Ohm's law in alternating current circuits, Proceedings of the IE, 1967.
Okay, let's pause. Proceedings of the IE is a real, highly prestigious journal.
Yes, it is.
And C.L. Fortescue sounds like a very real name.
Charles Legate Fortescue was a real, very famous electrical engineer. He is a giant in the field.
So what is the problem with the citation?
C.L. Fortescue died in 1936.
Oh.
30 years before this paper was supposedly written and published in 1967.
That is a rather significant discrepancy.
And that specific issue of the IED journal, it exists, but it does not contain that paper. The AI hallucinated the title, the author, and the date, stitching them together purely from probability. Fortescue is highly associated with electrical engineering. IE is associated with electrical engineering, so it just mashed them together.
That is wild. It's literally like a dream. It makes total sense in the moment, but when you wake up and look closely at the details, it completely falls apart.
And there's a specific tell for book citations, too. Page numbers.
The AI hates page numbers.
It routinely refuses to give them, or it just invents them. It will cite a real book, Introduction to Electric Circuits, but it won't give you the page number. Or if it does, the info definitely isn't on that page, because the AI hasn't read the book page by page. It has just digested the text in a massive soup. It has no concept of where page 42 ends and page 43 begins.
So if you see a student paper or a professional report with a bibliography that lists books but no specific chapters or page numbers, be suspicious.
Be extremely suspicious. Also, watch out for the privacy excuse.
What's the privacy excuse?
This is a really interesting form of hallucination where the AI anthropomorphizes the subject. When an AI can't find info on a person, maybe a minor celebrity or a local historical figure, it often covers its tracks by saying, he maintains a low profile, or she keeps her personal life private.
Oh, I've totally seen that. Despite his success, he remains elusive.
It sounds respectful, right? But usually it is pure speculation. The AI doesn't know if the person is private. It just knows it has zero data. So it hallucinates a personality trait privacy to explain away the data gap.
It is gaslighting us. I don't know the answer, so I'm going to tell you the closely guarded secret.
Exactly. It's a very human-like deflection, honestly. It's covering its own ignorance.
Okay, so we're going to move to the visual clues now.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't even have to read the text to know it's AI. You just have to glance at the formatting.
The visual fingerprint.
The source calls it the slide deck look.
AI treats every single paragraph like it's a slide in a corporate presentation. It absolutely loves boldface.
Boldface overuse.
It will bold every key term. Bold leveraged buyout. Bold debt financing, bold private equity. It looks like a key takeaways summary, even in a flowing narrative article.
It is exhausting to read. It's like the text is constantly shouting at you.
Yeah.
Look, this is important.
And the headers. Humans usually write headers in sentence case. History of the region.
But the AI.
History of the region. Title case. Capitalizing every single major word. It looks corporate. It looks exactly like a PowerPoint slide title.
And then there's the inline header list. I see this everywhere now.
Format is always the same. Bold header, colon, description.
1, bold historical context, colon. The region was settled in. 2, bold economic growth, colon. The economy expanded.
It loves this structure. It is a README file style. It's very structured, very logical, and very robotic. Humans rarely write lists like that right in the middle of an essay or an article unless they are writing a technical tutorial. We just write paragraphs.
It's like the AI is afraid of actual prose. It wants to organize everything into a clean database entry.
And sometimes the formatting just breaks completely. We call these technical artifacts the actual glitch in the matrix.
The source mentions something called turn 0, search 0.
This is a bizarre one. It is a specific artifact from ChatGPT. Sometimes, when it tries to insert a link to a web search result, it fails, and it leaves this raw system code right in the text. Cite, turn 0, search 0.
It looks like a cheat code in a video game.
If you see that, it is 100% AI. There is no human on Earth who would type turn 0, search 0 by accident. It is literally the robot burping out its code.
And what about the Markdown versus Wikitext battle?
This is a big one for the Wikipedia editors specifically. Wikipedia uses a very specific coding language called Wikitext. You use double square brackets for a link.
Right.
But AI often defaults to Markdown, which is what programmers use on GitHub or in Slack.
Okay.
Asterisks for bolding text.
So if you see a Wikipedia article with asterisks instead of actual bold text now?
It is likely a lazy bot paste.
Right.
Or you see a weird mix.
Huh.
It tries to use Wikitext but gets confused midway and throws in some Markdown. It creates this broken code look that editors flag immediately.
And finally, emojis.
The emojis.
Using emojis as formal bullet points.
Brain emoji, cognitive dissonance. Rocket ship emoji, future prospects. Glowing star emoji, key achievements.
If I see a rocket ship emoji in a formal business report,
It's a dead giveaway. Humans generally do not use emojis in formal writing. AI thinks emojis are just fancy bullets. It thinks it's being friendly and engaging, but in a formal context, it just looks manic.
okay, so we have torn the AI writing completely apart. We know it's puffy, it loves to delve, it hates the word is, it hallucinates dead authors, and it formats everything like a slide deck. But we promised you, the listener, a solution. We aren't just here to complain. We want to help you write better.
Right. This is where we pivot to Source B, the strategy guide.
This guide is all about refining voice. Basically, if this is how AI writes, how do we prove we are human?
The core philosophy here is simple. Specificity is kryptonite to AI.
Explain that a bit more.
Remember the regression to the mean we talked about. AI smooths things out. Humans deal in the specific, the jagged, the concrete details.
Instead of saying a revolutionary titan of industry,
Which is pure AI speak. It's fluffy. It could apply to everyone from Elon Musk to a guy who sells a really good hot dog.
you say, he invented the first train coupling device.
Specific. Verifiable. Is it boring? Maybe to some. But it's human.
It's not boring, it's real. Titan of industry is boring because it is a total cliche. Train coupling device is interesting because it's a hard fact.
The source had a fantastic example about ghost jobs that really brings this home.
Yes, this was a snippet of text designed to show real human writing. Listen to the difference here. An AI would probably say, the current employment landscape presents significant challenges for job seekers, with many positions remaining unfilled due to various factors.
I literally fell asleep. That is the definition of gray noise.
Now listen to the human version from source B. Ghost jobs are everywhere. Your resume was not rejected, it was never read.
Oof. Your resume was not rejected, it was never read. That hits hard.
It's punchy, it's short, it uses the active voice, and it is a little bit painful. AI tries to be polite, humans tell you the hard truth.
So rule number 1, be specific. Be punchy. Use the active voice.
Rule number 2, kill the significance commentary.
The underscoring the importance of...
Delete it.
Yeah.
If you find yourself typing, this event marked a pivotal moment, highlighting the importance of just stop. Delete the whole clause. State the fact. Let the reader decide if it's important.
The Institute opened in 1989. Period.
Period. Trust your reader. You do not need to be the hype man for a statistic.
Rule number 3, vary your sentence structure.
Don't do the rule of 3. Don't always list adjective, adjective, and adjective.
Break the rhythm entirely.
Use a list of 2. Use a list of 5. Write a sentence with one single word, then write a sentence with 40 words. Humans have a variable rhythm. AI has a consistent hypnotic drone.
Be jagged.
Be jagged. And rule number 4, name names.
No more experts agree.
Never say experts agree. Name the expert, Dr. Smith argues. The 2024 climate report states, if you cannot name the expert, you probably shouldn't be making the claim in the first place.
That is just good writing advice in general, honestly.
And that's the secret of this whole deep dive, isn't it? The anti-AI writing guide is really just a good writing guide. The things that make AI writing bad, the fluff, the vagueness, the cliches, the lack of strong verbs, are the exact same things that have always made human writing bad.
AI just automated bad writing. It scaled it up.
Exactly. It industrialized mediocrity.
There is one more tip from the source that I found fascinating. English variety matching.
Yes. This is a subtle one, but really important.
If you are writing about an Indian university...
AI defaults to American English. It says university program, fall semester, vibrant campus.
But a human writing about an Indian context would use Indian English conventions. They might refer to marks instead of grades, batch instead of class. The AI usually misses these cultural nuances because it is trained so heavily on American internet data. So matching your English variety to your subject matter is a very strong signal of humanity.
It's about being grounded in the actual place you were writing about, not just floating in the generic, averaged-out internet space.
Context. It always comes back to context.
So we have covered a lot today. We unpacked the tapestry, we dissected the delve, we learned about copula avoidance, and we learned how to fight back with specificity.
We certainly have.
But I want to leave you, the listener, with a final thought, a challenge.
The final exam.
The next time you open your email, the next time you read a news article, the next time you look at a LinkedIn post,
Look for the tapestry.
look for the delve, look for the underscoring the importance.
Ask yourself, is this a portrait? Or is this a blurry photocopy?
And here is the truly provocative thought I want to leave you with. The source mentioned that newer models are becoming subtly positive. They're getting better at hiding the obvious tells. The delve usage is dropping. The puffery is getting quieter.
And this leads right into the concept of model collapse mentioned in the source data.
Model collapse, that sounds apocalyptic.
It's a feedback loop. Think about it. We have established that AI trains on the internet. And we have established that AI produces average, bland, safe text. So if the internet becomes 90% AI-generated slop, all those rich tapestries and delving deeps, and then we train the next generation model on that internet.
It's inbreeding. The
Yeah.
language stops evolving entirely. It just eats its own tail.
Exactly. It becomes a closed loop of genericism, the jagged edges of human creativity, the slang, the weird metaphors, the brand new sentence structures. Those come from humans breaking the rules. Those come from humans taking risks.
So when we say write like a human, it's not just an aesthetic choice. It is actually a preservation effort. We are the keepers of the chaos in the language.
We are the source of the signal. The AI is just the noise.
That is a heavy responsibility to leave you with, but I think you're up for it. Every time you delete delve from your email, you are sating the English language.
One is at a time.
Thanks for diving deep with us today. Go out there and write something that a robot would never, ever say. See you next time.